The Alachua County School District is not backing down from their mask mandate. State education officials told them, along with Broward County, that they're going to withhold their salaries for defying the governor's ban. But a judge has already said that a ban isn't legal.
The superintendent says it's not about the money. Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie talked to her about how they're fighting back.
Alachua County Superintendent Dr. Carly Simon says they are prepared to push back against the governor with legal action.
Our board has made it very clear that their salaries pale in comparison to the cost of a lost life. And so they're very much focused on we do what's right, and this is what we will have to push forward through.
So far, 13 school districts have implemented mask mandates with no opt-out. Florida Education Commissioner Richard Corcoran released a statement saying in part, quote, "We're going to fight to protect parents' rights to make healthcare decisions for their children. They know what is best for their children." Simply said, elected officials cannot pick and choose what laws they want to follow. A judge has also ruled that the governor's ban on mask mandates was unlawful. So it remains to be seen if the state's move to penalize these districts will conflict with the judge's ruling.
We're not some rogue district. We now have, in our group, we are over the half of the population of students in the state of Florida. So clearly, many of our school boards and superintendents are feeling that the safety of our communities matter, and these are the things that we have to do.
As for the money, Dr. Simon says they have the support of the U.S. Department of Education and county commissioners who say they will cover the difference from the funds that have been taken. In Alachua County, Amanda McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
The Alachua County School Board holding an emergency meeting in about 30 minutes. On the agenda, Mass. The meeting is open to the public, both in person and online. There will be 2 hours of public comment. Each person will have 3 minutes to speak. There are 13 Florida school districts with mask mandates right now. Broward County is the latest one. The board there voted yesterday to require masks for the next 30 days. Orange and Alachua counties also have mask mandates. Face masks will also be up for discussion in Seminole County this week. The school board is taking up the issue Thursday morning at 8:30. Depend on Fox 35 News to bring you the latest on any decisions that are made.
Central Florida's Task Force 4 is now in Louisiana to help with these search and rescue efforts after Hurricane Ida. More than 40 members from our area are in Port Allen to help with those recovery efforts. And cities in Louisiana that have been hit hard by the hurricane now facing the possibility of weeks without power in the heat of summer. As you see the video behind us, this is video from New Orleans where there are power lines down all over the city. Crews are even fishing them out of the water to try and replace them. Fox 35's Rebecca Castor is live in Lacombe. So Rebecca, how are people doing there at this point?
John, it's brutal here for people without power. Right now, it's 88 degrees outside and humid. Behind me, you can see those trees that took out those power lines there. That's what we're seeing across this area.
I was not expecting this.
2 days after Hurricane Ida made landfall in Louisiana, many in St. Tammany Parish are still up to their knees in water.
The water leaks to right here when you walking in the house.
Tamika Robertson and her family rode out the storm in Lacombe. They had to withstand up to 90-mile-per-hour winds and 15 inches of rain.
I have to watch my little girl in the water to be walking back and forth. When we gotta use the bathroom, we gotta come fill the bucket up to flush the toilet.
Down the road, Allison King drops by her old home to see how it held up. She recently moved to higher ground, but is still heartbroken by the damage.
I raised this house, and I did every work, all the work to it, every brick on that house. Part of me is glad I'm gone. Part of me wish I was still.
While many who live near the river in Lacombe did evacuate, those who didn't now questioning that decision.
When they say evacuate, I know next time just go.
Now, many people I spoke with tell me for the time being they are getting by with generators, but that brings an entirely different concern. Last night, just down the road in Slidell, the fire department there says they had to respond to 2 emergencies related to generators. One put 9 people in the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning. Another was injured with burns. In Lacombe, Louisiana, Rebecca Castor, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Rebecca. Now, one positive note from all this, the new $14 billion levy system for the city of New Orleans appears to have held up just fine. Many suburbs, though, still flooded out because their levee projects were still under construction. But the flooding was nowhere near what happened during Hurricane Katrina back in 2005, which led to over 1,000 deaths.
Scammers are looking to take advantage of disasters like this one. So before you donate any cash to help out the victims, you need to do your homework. According to the Better Business Bureau, when donating money, choose a long-standing organization with experience in disasters. Look for familiar names like the American Red Cross or the United Way. If you do donate, use a credit card. That way you can dispute the charges if necessary. There's also a new scam to watch out for: fraudulent QR codes.
But instead, it could lead you to another site where they ask for your personal information or your login credentials, or it could even install malware on your device.
Also, do not respond directly to a solicitation sent over email or text, or click on any links. It could take you to a lookalike charity website and steal your financial information.
Well, still ahead, a woman goes to court for a routine child support hearing, then loses visitation rights with her child.
It definitely was not a reason to take my child from me.
And it's all because of her vaccination status.
And fireworks at Disney in the middle of the night? Why the park is firing them off hours after the Magic Kingdom is closed. Plus, here's Brooks.
Yeah, weather-wise, pretty quiet today, but that is going to change tomorrow. We've got moisture from Ida finally arriving here in central Florida, and that means what we're seeing right now in northern Brevard County with these scattered showers and thunderstorms will be region-wide. We'll talk about those likely rain chances and how long it'll last as we look ahead to this Labor Day weekend coming up.
Take a look at this. A family in Louisiana was stunned to find a dolphin swimming through floodwaters in their neighborhood following Hurricane Ida. One woman was surveying the damage around her Slidell neighborhood yesterday when she noticed the dolphin right there by her house. You can see the dolphin's fin popping in and out of the water. That woman contacted an agency to rescue the dolphin. Well, police departments from all across the state meeting today in Orlando to discuss ways to connect to their communities. One part of that plan is to find ways to improve interactions with people who live in these neighborhoods. In fact, departments are even working on new communication techniques.
Everyone, I think, is doing their best to try to implement these type of recommendations, but I think it's also part of, like it was mentioned here, the community has to play a role to work with law enforcement. Law enforcement has to work with the community to ensure that whatever's being delivered in those communities is in keeping with what the community expects and the recommendations, of course, that are being made.
The Florida Police Chief Association unveiled its plans during a news conference today at OPD headquarters.